Are you looking for facts about Sweden? Then you've come to the right place. To make this even more fun, I want to ask you a question and challenge you. What do you know about Sweden? And how many of these Sweden facts did you know before watching this video? Leave a comment in the section below. It's always fun to compare and see if there were some specific facts you found shocking or especially interesting to know. Number 1. 2/3 of Sweden's land area is covered by forest. Most people are probably aware that Sweden has a lot of forests, but the fact is that 2/3 of the total country's land area is covered by forests, with a total area of 280,650 square kilometers. Half of the land is owned by private people, and 1/4 is owned by private companies. The biggest single owner is a state, though. Number 2. North Korea has a 2.7 billion SEK in debt to Sweden. This was a fact about Sweden that I myself didn't know before making this video, but apparently, it was agreed that North Korea was to buy around 1,000 Volvo cars back in 1974. The problem is that the money that Kim Il-sung promised to pay has not been paid yet. So, 40 years later, the Swedish government is still sending invoices to North Korea to get back their 2.7 billion SEK. Number 3. The 5th biggest country in Europe, in terms of area. The total land area is 447,435 square kilometers. But despite that, Sweden has the second lowest population per square kilometer in all of Europe. Number 4. There are about 300,000 to 400,000 moose roaming freely in the woods. Swedish national pride. The moose could potentially form one of the biggest cities in Sweden if they gathered as one group. There are lots of Swedish moose, and the total number depends on the year and how many that are being killed by hunters. Number 5. The Swedish passport is among the world's best passports. Another interesting fact about Sweden is that they can pride themselves on the fact that their passports give them entry without a visa to 124 countries in the world. At arrival, they can obtain a visa to another 33 countries. Currently, the Swedish passport is ranked at number 3 in the world. Number 6. Swedish music is one of their biggest exports. ABBA is still one of the world's most famous bands in history, and when you travel abroad, it's not uncommon that people will mention ABBA when they think about Sweden. However, not only ABBA has made it to the international scenes when it comes to music. There are a lot of Swedish artists such as Zara Larsson, Avicii, Swedish House Mafia, Alesso, and so on, but also artists and bands such as Roxette, Europe, Alcazar, and Ace of Base have given the world some top hits throughout the years. In addition to that, a lot of songwriters and producers are of Swedish origins. If that wasn't enough, Sweden is also home to many famous heavy metal bands such as Flames, Hammerfall, and rock bands such as the Helicopters, the Hives, and the Sounds. Number 7. First country in the world to ban smacking. Since 1979, it's forbidden to smack your kids, which means that they were the first country in the world who made a law against flogging. After this, another 35 countries around the world have done the same. Number 8. One of the highest VAT in the whole world. With 25% as a standard value-added tax, the Swedish VAT is among the highest in the world, together with countries like Croatia, Norway, and Denmark. Only Bhutan, Myanmar, and Djibouti, as well as Hungary, have higher VAT. Number 9. They have the highest number of McDonald's restaurants in Europe per capita. Swedes are not known for being unhealthy or obese, but still, you can find the highest number of McDonald's restaurants per capita in all of Europe. So there's definitely not a shortage of fast food here. Number 10. The only country in the world where donations stand for more than 1% of the GDP. Swedes are known for being generous, and generally Sweden is a country that tries to help out around the world even though they are not the biggest country. The fact that Sweden is the only country in the world where donations stand for more than 1% of the total GDP is evidently one of the many interesting facts about Sweden that Swedes can be proud of. Number 11. They are so good at recycling that they even import other countries' waste. Another positive fact about Sweden is the fact that they are so good at recycling that they nowadays import garbage from other countries and make a lot of money from it at the same time. For example, Sweden imports waste from Norway. Number 12. One of the Swedish kings became a pirate after he was forced away from the crown. Eric XIII was more famous for the title Eric of Pommern, But did you know that this Swedish king was forced away from the crown in 1439? And then he flew to Gotland, where he crowned himself the pirate king of the Baltic Sea for a period of 10 years. Number 13. They have the highest number of patents per capita in Europe. There is no shortage of Swedish innovations and innovators, and some of the more famous ones are Tetra Pak, the pacemaker, the dynamite, and the spherical ball bearing. Sweden is the country with the highest number of patents per capita in Europe. Number 14. The world's oldest limited company is Swedish. Falu Koppargruva AB was founded already in 1288 and is thereby the oldest limited company in the world. At least if you're looking for who has the oldest preserved share certificate. Number 15. One of the few countries where the land mass is growing without war. Since the inland ice was drawn back for circa 10,000 years ago, there has been a land elevation in several parts of Sweden. At most, the uplift has been around the area of the high coast in Angermanland. Since the inland ice, the land elevation has been more than 800 meters. Nowadays, the biggest land elevation is at Furuögrund, which currently is around 9.2 millimeters per year. In the southern part of Sweden, however, it's currently lowering, even though we're talking about negligible values of 0.5 millimeters per year. Number 16. 9 quick Sweden facts. Want to know some more interesting facts about Sweden? Here are 9 quick Sweden facts. Swedes consume 20 million semlor per year. More than 20,000 Sami people live in Sweden. Swedes work an average of 1,611 hours per year. 96% of the Swedes live in the cities. Swedes have 480 paid parental days. 52% of the energy is renewable. Gay relationships have been legalized since 1944. There are 95,700 lakes in the country. Guadalupe used to belong to Sweden. Number 17. Sweden has the freedom to roam. Allemansrätten. Did you know that Sweden is one of the few countries in the world that gives every person the freedom to roam in nature? This means that you don't have to pay to set up a tent or get a permission to cross private land. The only exceptions are private gardens near a dwelling house. Other than that, you're free to walk, cycle, ride, ski, and camp, etc. The only thing that you have to do is respect nature and don't litter. Freedom to roam and the right to public access also allow visitors and locals to pick wild berries, flowers, and mushrooms. Swimming in lakes is also allowed. Number 18. Despite being a military power in the 17th century and one of the world's largest producers of weapons, Sweden has not participated in any war for almost 2 centuries, including both world wars. Number 19. Around 2,000 years ago, the ́svæ people gave Sweden its name. In their language, ́svæ meant us and ́riket meant kingdom, so Sverige, the modern Swedish name of the country, means our kingdom. Number 20. The Swedish 3-point seatbelt is claimed to have saved 1 million lives. It was launched by Volvo in 1959 and is found in 1 billion vehicles worldwide. Number 21. One of the most popular flavors of ice cream in Sweden is salmiakki, or salty licorice, which can also be called black in color. Number 22. Sweden has one of the highest life expectancies in the world, 74 years for men and 80 years for women, and one of the lowest birth rates, 1.7 children per woman. Number 23. In terms of geography, Kiruna, Sweden, located north of the Arctic Circle, is the northernmost town in Sweden and one of the largest northernmost cities in the world. The city's leaders have declared that the city's limits are the same as the borders of the township, so it contains 5,000 square miles, or 13,000 square kilometers. Number 24. Stockholm, the capital of Sweden, has been called the Venice of the North because it is a city built around water with 12 islands and 42 bridges. Number 25. The Christmas tree tradition in Sweden is a fairly decent one. It was adopted from Germany at the end of the 19th century. Before this, Swedes celebrated with Christmas straw. Household members would have to lie down on the straw at night, as the beds were reserved for the dead who would come to visit their families on Christmas Eve. Number 26. On every Christmas day at 3 p.m., Swedes are watching popular Kalle Anka. This tradition has started in 1961. Tack så mycket! If you liked this video, give us a thumbs up and share. Also, for more interesting videos, subscribe. Thank you!